All right, hey everyone, I'm here today with Dr. Daniel Kimbley, chiropractor extraordinaire, owner with his wife of Nexus Chiropractic here in Dana Point. And Dr. Daniel has changed everything about the way I think about the body, the way I think about chiropractic care, posture, alignment, positioning, all of those things. So I'm really excited to have you here and have you share a little bit about what you do and the business that you run here. So let's start with this. You're an Indiana boy.
I am.
And you are in Dana Point doing chiropractic care. How'd you get out here?
My wife and I, who is now 30 weeks pregnant, we grew up in Indiana. When we moved to Georgia for me to get my doctorate in chiropractic, which is a whole nother story that you'll probably ask me about, we realized there's really something to not having snow, not having terrible weather like you would get in Indiana, and we loved it. So we started asking ourselves the question, where would we actually live if we could live anywhere in the US? And so our options were summertime year-round and water year-round. So that leaves Florida and California. So we traveled the coast of California, pretty much ruled out Florida, and then fell in love with Dana Point.
Perfect.
And now here we are.
Here we are.
Yep.
Well, awesome, man. So in your prior life, you were an English teacher. And I know that there is a long story about how you got from partier in high school to college to English teacher to chiropractic care. But share a little bit about what it was that what was the moment? Like, what was the wake up moment where you're like, I have to do this? And share as much as you can about kind of what went into that moment. But like, what was that shift?
Yeah, of course. I think the biggest thing was while I was teaching, I was making up my own teaching strategies, and I really started learning about the brain and the prefrontal cortex. So simultaneously, I'd gotten under chiropractic care for myself, not for any issues, but because I wanted to stay healthy and prevent any future issues.
Okay.
And so when I did that, I started looking at my students' posture. And one of the things that I noticed very clearly was that generally speaking, the kids with autism, the kids with ADD and ADHD, the learning disabilities, and the students who were a little bit more what the school would call troubled, they had worse posture.
Okay.
And I wanted to know why. And so through a series of questioning, a much longer story, but what I realized definitively is that the results I was getting in my classroom in 1 year with a group of students, I could get the same results in 3 months by giving them chiropractic care in addition to the teaching strategies that I was using. So what that comes down to is now I have the data in my office.
Okay.
Like there are people that we take care of who come in with dyslexia at 7 years old or not being able to read, and at 3 months can read and get the same results that it was taking me a year plus to get with students.
No way.
Yeah, that was the breakthrough that I had back then that led me here.
That's so rad. Okay, so this is a loaded question, but what's happening in those 3 months?
We do one thing in my office, it's a chiropractic adjustment. And so everybody kind of has a misconception about what it is, what it looks like, what it's meant for. And primarily, chiropractic is actually not about neck pain, back pain, and headaches. What it's about is stimulating the brain in a way that allows every person to function at their 100%. And so what I do is I look at where is the brain not functioning properly, let's say in a kiddo who has difficulty with reading, and when we start to stimulate that very specific part of the brain, we can bring up their reading skills without adding any teaching strategies into the mix at all.
Okay. How does this affect adults? Like why should I be in here under chiropractic care? Which is, by the way, a long conversation that you and I have on a regular basis.
For sure, right? Yeah. I mean, I love seeing entrepreneurs. The thing that it really comes down to is presence, productivity, and profit. And so if you want to make more money, if you want to be more present with your family members, if you want to be able to be more present when you're at work trying to get things done so that you can ultimately go home and then spend time with your wife or kids or husband or kids and still feel that sense of life and energy and not be exhausted at the end of the day, that's why chiropractic care. If you want to make more money and be more productive inside your business, that's why chiropractic care. If you're the stressed out soccer mom who has 4 kids, trying to get the kids from point A to point B, and you just want to feel a sense of like, okay, I got this, instead of the world is crumbling around me, then that's why chiropractic care for adults.
Gotcha. Okay, and so what can you share some like a cool story that you've seen in the last year and a half? What's one of your favorite stories that you've seen?
I'll share 2 quickly.
Okay.
One high-level business owner,
Okay.
a mentor to me,
Okay.
comes in and he's like, definitively, if it weren't for being under care with you for the last year and a half, I would not have the business that I have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have profited as much as I have in the
Okay.
last year, and sex life with my wife is the best it's ever been.
Awesome.
On the other end, I also take care of pediatrics, so I
Yeah.
see lots of kiddos. And the coolest one is the girl I was talking about, 7-year-old, super uncoordinated, difficulty tying her shoes, difficulty reading.
Yeah.
She ended up to a place where she's now reading. She's doing better in school than she's ever done. More energy, more coordination. Completely transformed not only her life, but life for mom and dad too, who had to, were worried about their
Yeah.
daughter, and now all those fears are completely
So
gone.
cool.
Mhm.
So cool. Tell me about some of the stuff you guys do in the community, because you're out and about all the time.
Chamber of Commerce ambassadors. We're members of the Chamber of Commerce. We're members of the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
And so I'll stick with the Chamber of Commerce ambassadors. One of the things we love doing is connecting with other local businesses.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
especially the new ones that come in, because we were here, right?
Right.
Like
You were a new one.
and the chamber was a way for us to just meet people.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of one of the things that we've thrived on, is really just creating good, solid relationships in the
Okay.
community. So love the Chamber of Commerce. Like I said, the Rotary, we volunteer. So we volunteer with the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
We volunteer with many other things. We were just at RH Dana, painting whales on the sidewalk, trying to like re-glorify some of their campus. So all kinds of volunteer stuff all over.
So sweet, man.
Yeah.
All right, what about education? I know you do a ton of education, be it online, seminars, whatever. What are some of those things that you do?
Yeah, so when we first started, we were doing lots of in-office talks. We've
Okay.
kind of transitioned those into webinars now.
Yeah.
And so we do mostly webinars once a month. We have a members area inside of our office where we
Okay.
offer people all the resources to learn about not only what we do. I have a podcast, it's called the Nexus
Yeah.
Podcast with Dr. Daniel Kimbley, and a host of other. I've written a recipe book. We have a brain balance assessment book and a bunch of other resources just to get people started to see where they're actually at.
Yeah. And what I love about you and what you do is, it's you frame it about people. You frame it about people. You want to make sure that people understand that they can be achieving their potential. It's not about you and what your business can do for them. It's about how these people can really achieve their potential.
Yeah.
What is it inside of you that gets you to feel that? You know what I mean?
Definitively, when I was an undergrad, I learned something about what's called the hidden curriculum. Not going to go into what that is.
If you want to hear about it, episode 1 of his
of my
podcast,
podcast, I talk all
Killer,
about it.
tells you all in detail.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So long story short, I realized that most of us are not living to our full potential.
Okay.
And that is all expressed through the brain. And so anytime I see people who are struggling in life, I don't really think that they need to be that way.
Yeah.
And it really is a choice, and there are certain things that you can do to step into your greatness, and everybody has a greatness within them.
Yeah.
And I would love to see people living out their passion, living out their purpose, not just doing what's easy and safe.
Okay.
And everybody has a capability to do that, but most people don't know where to get started. So that's definitively why I sit here and do what we do.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
So all the things that you kind of provide, all the content that you put out there, what do you enjoy doing most?
I love doing the podcast the
Okay.
most. I actually really am obsessed with marketing.
Okay. Yeah.
Most people think of marketing and they think it's shady.
Right.
The thing I love about marketing is that all you're doing is putting a message out to people to get
Yeah.
people to hear it.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
for us, if I don't market, then legitimately the people that we have helped would not be in our office, and they'd
Right.
be living the same
Right.
life that they were pre-chiropractic care. So I love learning the ins and outs of marketing, what it actually is, and how to
Yeah.
connect with people, especially connect with people when we do this all day long on
Yeah.
our cell phones.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to me to just really build relationships, and like
Yeah.
I said, it's all about connecting with people.
And what's so cool about content marketing and the way that things are marketed now is that your marketing is improving people's lives. The
Mhm.
message that you're putting out is educational content that is making people's lives better. And at the same time, it's bringing you here so that you can continue to run your business, right?
Yeah, it's just, it's done through me. So
Yeah.
my marketing is literally just to help people.
Right.
And then hopefully they get under chiropractic care. And if
That's
they do,
awesome.
if they don't, then that's okay. And if they do, then amazing.
Awesome.
Yep.
So what do you say to the people who say that chiropractors are quacks?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
You think that chiropractors are quacks because you don't know what we do.
Okay.
And you don't fully understand it. And that's a much longer conversation.
Yeah.
But if that's your belief, then there's nothing I can do to convince you, no amount of research, nothing
Right.
is going to convince you to change that belief. And I would say that you're stuck living a life that's smaller than what it could be if it weren't for being under chiropractic care.
Yeah, and for you and for your patients, the proof's in the pudding, right?
Yep. 100%.
Awesome, man. All right, so you, I've been to a few chiropractors. You are very unique. I mean, the setup of your office, it's open, it's bright. Everybody comes in and sees it. Like, how are you different? Like, what do you do that's different?
Number one, so we do individual analysis on everyone.
Okay.
So I do full neurological testing, I do physical exams, I do some specialized thermography scans to see exactly where the nervous system is functioning. So I want to have objective data to back everything that I do.
Okay.
2, this is a health care facility. So I don't care about treating symptoms and diseases.
Yeah.
What I care about is creating health in someone's body. And like, I know that sounds like just words, but if you just sit back and think about how everyone else is working to try and fix someone, no one is broken.
Yeah.
I'm looking at how to let their body express more health.
Awesome, man. All right, so you said podcast. Where else can people reach you?
Podcast, Instagram, either at Dr. Daniel Kimbley or Nexus Family Chiropractic.
Okay.
Same on Facebook as well. Our website, nexusfamilychiropractic.com. We have a YouTube page.
Awesome, man.
I think that's it.
All right.
Yep.